Good morning. Welcome to your program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran. Thank you for joining us today here on Cignal TV's One News, channels 8 and 250. And of course, thank you to all of you who also tried to catch us via Facebook and YouTube, as well as the Cignal Play app. Today is going to be a very interesting day because we are providing the platform, our program, to an organization that brings hope, okay, via a bottle. And it happened that one time, actually twice, we bought water from a particular food outlet. And as I was reading what was written in the bottle, the question was asked, does your bottle of water build schools? So we were very intrigued, and after a long time of trying to find them, catch them, we finally have the group available for an interview, and we will be featuring them. And they're a very interesting group, and their representative, their spokesperson, their leader is very interesting as well. So please stick around with us as we do that later. And in the meantime, let's go to our daily starter. And Gab, if you would kindly just flash it. It's a great reminder of how we can start for the things we never get to do. Start by doing one push-up. Start by drinking 1 cup of water. Start by paying toward or forward one debt, paying toward one debt. Start by reading one page. Start by deleting one old contact. Start by walking one lap. Start by attending one event. Start by writing one paragraph. Start today, repeat tomorrow. I saw that recently, and I found it very interesting, and actually it makes perfect sense. You don't have to do 50 push-ups right away. You don't have to walk 10,000 steps right away. You don't have to finish a book in 1 week or 2 weeks. Do everything at your pace, but do it, and then the next day repeat it. Okay, so today is October 27, 2023. Let us now go to the front page of the Philippine Star for a quick review and the headline of today, October 27, 2023, Friday. DOJ, Philippines to pursue case versus China over coral damage. Justice Secretary Crispin Remulla has announced that the Philippines will file a case against China, and they intend to file that case by March 2024 at the latest. Meanwhile, COMELEC has activated a command center for barangay polls that will monitor all barangay and SK-related activities, the campaign, the election itself, and until the last candidate is announced or declared a winner, or the last winning candidate is declared, the command center will stay in place. And a reminder to candidates, the election, the campaign, last day is tomorrow, Sunday, wala na raw po. Okay? Baka madali kayo. Meanwhile, fake news. Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin said in a text message, November 3 is a working day, not a holiday. May mga nagpapakalat po ng balitang holiday on November 3. Fake news daw po yan. The big photo, the front page, top page of the Philippine Star, features Ramon Baun, son of renowned Philippine prosthetic artist Cecil Baun, shows off the collection of masks used in horror movies since the 1970s at their home in Quezon City yesterday, perhaps suggesting that Halloween is almost upon us. So, yung iba dyan hindi na kailangang mag-mask. Nakakatakot na. Pagpasok pa lang sa opisina, nakakatakot na. Okay. Meanwhile, center photo of the Philippine star features U.S. President Joe Biden standing with Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese prior to a joint press conference at the White House. At left, the U.S. Ronald Reagan, okay, and the nuclear-powered submarine USS Annapolis participate in an anti-submarine drill in waters of South Korea eastern coast in this file photo. The USS Ronald Reagan, America's only forward deployed aircraft carrier, conducted flight operations off eastern Luzon on Wednesday. Biden declared U.S. defense commitment to Philippines is ironclad. In Tagalog, balot sa bakal, sigurado ang tibay. Magkatotoo, wag sana. Wag na sanang masubukan pa, okay? Balot sa bakal ang suporta ng Amerika. Meanwhile, DTI monitoring prices of candles, bottled water. The DTI conducted a nationwide monitoring of undas, related commodities such as bottled water, candles, and flowers ahead of the observance of All Saints Day. And of course, all of that will be marked up near the cemeteries. Meanwhile, very sad and troubling news in the United States, particularly in Maine, where U.S. mass shooting leave 22 dead and dozen hurt. Okay, a massive manhunt was underway for a gunman who a local official said killed at least 22 people, wounded dozens more in a mass shooting, the deadliest such incident this year. Okay, the person or the suspect is a certified firearms instructor, a member of the U.S. Army Reserve, and recently spent 2 weeks in a mental facility. Yan po ang problema pag nagkalat ang baril sa bansa. And then, okay, adherence to rule of law in the Philippines drops. So not only in America do we have problems regarding law enforcement or adherence to rule of law in the Philippines remains one of the weakest in the region, with the country score declining in the latest rule of law index of the World Justice Project or WJP. From 97 out of 140 last year, the Philippines is now has dropped to 100. Okay, and the index measures adherence to rule of law based on 44 indicators grouped into 8: constraints on government powers, absence of corruption, open government, fundamental rights, order and security, regulatory enforcement, civil justice, criminal justice. We hope to call the authors of this report to educate our viewers. Meanwhile, Marcos vows more support for athletes after President Marcos has expressed optimism that the Philippines would perform better in future sporting events, as he vowed to boost the government's support for Filipino athletes after the Asian Games. And last but not the least, SM's 85th mall opens in Santo Tomas City, Batangas. Ayan po. Okay, so kayong mga tiga Batangas, hindi nyo na kailangang lumayo. Diyan pa lang sa Santo Tomas, meron na namang malaking mall. Okay, so that about covers our news review of the front page. Let's now go for a quick break. And when we return, we start our double header today. First, about this group that invests on all their profits. They put up small businesses, invest their profits for schools, livelihood, etc. And the second one, a PLDT partnership with Jack Liner. We'll be right back here on Agenda.
Launched in 2012, HOPE is a B Corp certified impact organization that invests in various programs like education, livelihood, and environment. It is the only local company that donates 100% of its profits to build public school classrooms, increase agriculture opportunities, and preserve our environment. Their mission is further pushed by Friends of Hope, a non-stock, non-profit organization interested in alleviating poverty through education. Their programs help individuals like Marita Blanco who earn money while helping the environment under the Plastic Credit Exchange's Aling Tindera Waste to Cash program. HOPE and its partner companies also embark on a mission of planting 1 million coconut trees in Mindanao. So far, they have distributed over 875,000 coconut seedlings to 6,800 smallholder farmers. Let's further discuss their programs on today's agenda.
As the managing director of Friends of Hope Incorporated, Ilusion Farias oversees all the non-profits community programs including education, environmental, and agriculture impact areas. Farias has over 10 years of experience in different sectors within the non-profit sector. She previously worked in Guatemala where she organized programs with the city garbage dump community. Farias obtained her master's in public administration degree from the prestigious Harvard Kennedy School of Government.
Good morning, Ilu. Welcome to the program agenda.
Good morning. Thank you for having me so much.
Okay, did we pronounce your family name correctly? Is it Farias or Farias?
Farias.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I was informed that you are from South America. Is it Guatemala or Nicaragua?
Nicaragua. I'm from Nicaragua.
Okay, Nicaragua. Now, how did a beautiful young lady from Nicaragua end up in the Philippines? I'm like, there's so many. And then you were already in Harvard, where you have a public administration certificate, a master's degree. How did this journey begin?
So I've worked my whole life in nonprofits. And then after Harvard, I was trying to do something else. I was looking to stay in Latin America because that's where my family is based. But life takes you a completely different way. And I think you need to be open to what the universe has in store for you. So a friend of mine had asked me to apply for a job that was based in Thailand. And I said, sure. And as that application was moving, I was like, well, let me see what else is there in this region if I'm looking at one job. And I saw that Hope was hiring, and I read this paragraph and it just resonated with me so much. I'm like, this is me. So I sent in an application, and everything moved really fast from there. A couple of weeks later, I was here in the Philippines looking at all the projects that Hope did, and accepted the job. Unfortunately, that was in February 2020. So as you can imagine, the pandemic hit and I was stuck in the US for a little bit while I was able to fly here. But I've been working with Hope officially since, I think, May of 2020, first remote and then here in person. But I think it goes to say of who we are. It just resonated so much with me, and I had no doubt that this was where I was supposed to be.
Okay, so I'm sure our viewers are wondering, what exactly are these two guys talking about? Me, I only caught up on your organization or your company when we happened to just casually buy a bottle of water. I focus on the food less than on the liquids, but I couldn't help but notice that the bottle had very intriguing message, like hope in a bottle. It's like, what? Is this a genie in a bottle or something? And then there was this tag where the Shore bottle of water builds schools. And I'm like, wow, that's a stretch. So could you tell our viewers, what exactly was that all about?
So we started about 11 years ago. And more than a company, we kind of wanted to build on this idea or a movement, right? That your choices matter, that people have a choice, and that we can do good. So the thought was, why don't we we became the first B Corp in the Philippines. And it was through the sale of water, we can support building classrooms. So the Philippines has a big shortage of classrooms. And we thought that would be a good place to start. And this way, give every Filipino kind of a vote, right? You can buy this water or you can buy this water that builds classrooms. And in that way, showcase that our choices as individuals matter, who we support as companies matter, and change is possible, right? Little by little, it really adds up. Everybody who buys a water adds into these classrooms for these communities that really, really need them. We also wanted to showcase that you could do business for good. That if we can do it in such a low margin business like water, then other people would follow suit. And that's kind of what we try to do. It's kind of put our actions where our thoughts are, right? We don't want it to just be words, but we actually want it to translate into action. And we can't do it alone. So this is what we have done to invite everyone to kind of participate, right? Just by buying our water, you're helping the education system in the entire country.
Okay, Ilu, how exactly does that work? Because you said bottled water is a low margin, low revenue kind of endeavor. Except, of course, if you're the bottler and you are selling in bulk, as in like container loads. But
Yeah.
otherwise, how the shore system work?
So we actually we do bottle our own water. We have a spring, and we have a company called we have a place called Hope Springs in Laguna. And the way that we work is we're very lean, and we try to keep our margins as big as we have them. But more than that is working together with our partners, right? Getting restaurants, hotels, people to carry our bottle, and they also make a commitment that part of what they purchase from us goes into what we call a hope meter. And that hope meter reaches a certain amount. And then with that, we build a classroom in their name. So it comes from two sides. It comes from the people who buy the water per se, but also from the companies themselves. And we've been super lucky to find so many partners who really want to take this journey with us and make this change, right? We've built over 100, we're about to build 130 classrooms, hopefully by the end of this year, in the 10 years that we've been around. And we also try to build in last mile schools, the places that are far-fetched, that people don't necessarily are going to build, that have been waiting 10 years for a classroom, that the teachers are really committed to their students and teach in this makeshift classrooms or under a tree or whatever the circumstances are. That's where we've been trying to go.
Okay, now how competitive are your bottled water? Because I'm sure at the end of the day, any store manager has to justify to management that, hey, this is still viable and we're doing a good thing. Because I'm sure you've done your cost studies. Is a Hope in a Bottle competitive?
Yeah, and that's kind of the point, right? We're not. The idea is that we are an option and we are a competitive option. We are more premium than some other options, but we're still competitive within that market. We are looking for a solution that makes sense for a business, right? We want to be here in the long term. So if it is that it's 5 times the price of the water that they're buying, really they might do it once, but they're not going to be with us. And we have companies who have stuck with us for over 10 years now. Because we are competitive and it makes sense to their bottom line as well.
Okay, so 130 schools in 10 years. Now, how do you do the selection? Because I saw that video with the Bilaan tribe. I hope I pronounced that correctly. It would be disastrous if I can't pronounce it properly. But how do you go about selecting? Because I've worked with a friend, the Trek group, and they love to climb mountains, and they bring backpacks full of books and school supplies, and they just find the highest hill or the most accessible mountain. But how about Hope in a Bottle? How do you choose your schools?
So we have a couple of ways. Actually, if you go into our website, anybody can nominate a school. So we get a list from there. And then the other way is we partner. Well, our partner is DepEd. So we get a list of need from DepEd in different regions, right? And then we shortlist that, and then we do due diligence on those schools. So, like I said, we try to go where we're most needed, where we think that other people won't build. We have schools that we've had to cross, there's 6 river crossings just to get to that school, and the materials have to cross this river. So we have to make sure like we cross during dry season. This becomes a challenge for a lot of people, and sometimes it becomes more expensive. So we tried to go kind of where it's a little harder.
Okay, let's be clear about this, ladies and gentlemen. This one on screen is the Hope for the Hope schools, the ones that we saw with tarp and soil floors. Those were that was the before.
Yeah.
These are the after photos. We just need to be clear.
Yes,
Gab,
please.
if you guys can, please put the before and after, because people might think you're constructing shacks.
No,
So.
no. So we construct actually, we construct we used all DepEd's guidelines and the standard sizing, but we also then build with a higher roof, bigger windows, more ventilation. So we have our own design that is approved by DepEd, and that's what we build in our schools. They have this type of insulation, so it's not as hot, it doesn't get as hot. There's more light coming in. And our colors are white and blue, but that's on purpose because it brings a lot more lightness into the classroom as well, right? As you can see in the videos.
It's a cool color combination. Now, okay, so you build the schools and then you sell the bottled water, but is that all that you guys do?
No, so that's where we started, and that's our origin story. But we focus in 3 areas. We focus in livelihood, environment, and education. So we've covered the education part, but the other 2 are, we have 2 other programs. First, we have an agricultural program in Mindanao, where we try to help small scale coconut farmers. So they are one of the biggest at-risk population in the Philippines. And I'm not sure if your viewers know, but a lot of the coconut trees in the Philippines were planted 60, 70 years ago. And that's the productive lifespan of a coconut tree. Which means a lot of people might be in jeopardy very, very soon. And also, the coconut is one of the main exporters of coconut products into the world. So if this production goes down, it also affects a lot of different lives. So in the recent years,
not only are the coconuts, most coconuts in the Philippines 60, 70 years old and dying or drying up, they are as tall as 4 stories high or 3 stories high. And now it is such a pain to find people who are able to climb them, to strip them, because I do have coconuts in my place in Batangas, and now we've had to replace them with lower type varieties, the sweet water variety. Are you doing the same, or is it just a recycling of seedlings to be given away?
No, so we actually work with PCA, and we only give away PCA verified seedlings. So one of our missions is to better the crop that is out there, and we give the type of seedling that's required for the land. So even in Mindanao, regarding of the region, some is tall, some need short. And we also have a hybrid farm a micro hybrid farm that we're working on to see how we can do the techniques and develop hybrid trees. Our thought is to help the small scale coconut farmer and to be able to plant all these trees. So actually, we've planted over 1 million trees as of now.
A million trees in Mindanao. Where exactly in Mindanao? Because Ilu, you may look slightly Filipino. You actually remind me of my daughter, who's half Dutch. So, but there are places in Mindanao where we will never go.
So we work in a lot of regions, mainly in South Cotabato.
Okay.
That's kind of where we're going. We are going to be expanding because we actually, in September 1st in the World Coconut Forum, we announced that we were going to plant the 2nd million next year. So the way that this works is that like I said, we work with small scale farmers, we provide the seedlings, but we also then provide training and M&E. So we monitor all the trees. What we want to do is have a program that 10 years from now, we can guarantee that those trees still exist, right? And that's in a way that's good for our environment, and it's good for the livelihood of the farmers. We also provide access to market. We provide information on where they can sell it, what the coconut pricing is, and we try to show them that the best practices. At the same time, I'm sure but a lot of coconut farmers are stuck with really traditional ways of planting.
Mhm.
So we try to teach them new techniques such as intercropping and how to create vermicompost and all these different inputs that they can benefit in their farm without spending a lot of money, right? So we've actually created about 100 demo and partner farms in the region where farmers can go visit, which great. But if you can't see it, you can't really understand it. But if your neighbor suddenly is making more money and then there's an interest, right? On, well, what they're doing, I can replicate.
Well, you're hitting on the concept of Filipino envy or inggit. When you obviously picked up on that word, where if somebody puts up a beauty parlor and it looks like she's making money, everybody puts up a beauty parlor. So whether or not there is an interest, once profit is seen on the horizon, people go. But you're doing something equally as good. Is this project? What did you call it? Farm or something? Where you do
Demo farms, yeah.
where you do the training?
Yeah.
Demo farms and hybrid farms. Because I myself, I go out in the provinces with BMEG, and we teach hog racers. I teach them all my stupidity, all my mistakes, so that they don't repeat it. But that's vital, because that's what they call information and technology transfer.
Exactly. And we're trying to show the opportunity. So since we're planting another 1,000,000 trees, right now we're encouraging the farmers to become seedling growers. We will purchase those seedlings from you, right? And it's another way to get income, especially when coconut prices are low, right? A seedling would sell for more and they'd be able to. So we want to encourage all these farmers to become micro entrepreneurs, right? If you're making compost, if you make more of it, you can sell it. You can sell it to your neighbor. You can sell it back to us for us to give to other people. And that's kind of the system that we've been working, a little bit more than just here are seedlings to plant.
Okay, let's go for a quick break, Ilu. And when we return, I've got a business idea for you, okay, regarding seedlings, because I have been pushing and pushing for this, but no one's biting. But anyway, we'll be right back here on Agenda. Please stick around. Welcome back to the program Agenda, your program, your agenda, and with us to talk more about the other programs of Hope in a Bottle. We have Farias, however you want to pronounce it. She's doing a lot of good. So Ilu, I was just about to share with you the fact that you have encouraged farmers in Mindanao to produce seedlings, which your organization in turn buys from them, and you in turn distribute to other farmers. Now, there are a lot of people in Metro Manila who still want to have a coconut tree, but they don't want those tall coconut trees. They want the low variety coconut tree, and who have a heart for businesses, organizations such as yours. And they've told me time and again, Cito, if you can bring the coconuts here, we'll buy. But maybe you can bring the coconuts to Manila so that these people can buy every time you have a promo in the malls, etc.
Yeah, we're trying to get more people involved, right? On our website, you can buy a tree that will be donated to a farmer. We've worked with a lot of different companies who do some matching and some things, but that's a great idea.
Okay, now, so aside from put hope in a bottle, putting the profits in building schools, and then planting a million coconut trees every year to replace the aging, dying coconut trees of the Philippines, what other projects or businesses is your organization into?
So the third one is we've created a program called the Aling Tindera, which is a waste to cash program. In a lot of different lists, depending, the Philippines always shows up as one of the biggest polluters of ocean plastic. And we wanted to make sure we contributed to that and help be part of the solution. And so we wanted to create kind of a local solution. So what we did was we set up collection sites. So if you kind of see in the streets, PET or the bottles are not really, that doesn't really end up in the oceans. It doesn't end in the rivers. You don't see them that much in the streets. What you see in the streets thrown is kind of the sachets, the sando bags, like that type of plastic. And the reason for it is, or at least in our opinion, is that there's no market for that. No one is buying that.
Mhm.
The harder plastic gets bought and there's a market. So street sweepers, people pick it up and sell it. So we wanted to recreate that. So we created these waste to cash points where people can come in and sell their plastic. And so the original idea was to partner up with Sari Sari store owners. People go to the Sari Sari stores to buy whatever it is that they need. At the same time, they could bring their plastic, get extra money, and help make sure that plastic gets removed from the street. So the way that we work is the community sells their plastic in these points to these women, the Aling Tinderas. Then once it reaches a certain volume, we come in and buy from the Aling Tindera. So she makes an additional margin for taking care of it, putting it in the container van. And then we make sure that we take it to our partner processors, so it's removed from nature and never seen again, pretty much. And in that way, we're able to contribute to the environment and livelihood in the Philippines, right? And what we want to create is kind of a movement and create that behavioral change. We've seen it a little bit in some households. We've seen some women who tell their kids, some moms who tell their kids, well, you're in charge of segregation, and that becomes a new chore, right? To segregate their plastic in the house.
Correct.
Right, to teach them how to do it, because it's a little bit of extra income, right? It's not meant to provide a salary for anyone, but it is meant to create an extra revenue of livelihood for people, especially people with a lot of need, right? There's a lot of plastic in the streets. There's a lot of plastic of where we see it.
Okay. Well, Ilu, unfortunately, we're down to our last 2 minutes, but I promise you there will be a part 2, especially on new developments. But for the moment, do you have any message or appeal to viewers, particularly those who go to malls? If you have a list of the outlets where they can buy your bottled water, or where they can support plant a tree or buy a tree for a farmer program, please go right ahead, Ilu.
Yeah, wherever you see our water, it's very distinct. You'll see it's a Hope water. If you can support us, that will be amazing. But more than that, we're just asking for everybody to make choices that help people, to live within kindness and think about others, right? We don't think that we have the only solution. This is what we're trying to do. But we encourage everyone who can help to help. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the way that we're doing it, but the world needs a little bit more kindness and needs thoughtfulness, and we need to show that people aren't alone who are suffering, right? So more than supporting just us, I think that we need to be very intentional, like your first message today, right? If you're very intentional of what to do, a small thing can add up to big things, and it can make a world a better place.
Okay, well, Ilu, thank you for joining us, and we wish Hope in a Bottle all the best, and we give you our 100% support. God bless you and your organization and the people you work with. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Cito. Have a wonderful day.
You too. Okay, that's Ilu Farias of Hope in a Bottle. And when you go to the malls, when you go to a food outlet, ask for one, because if they don't have one, at least they will know that there is such a product that helps build schools, support farmers, and help Aling Tindera. We'll be right back. Don't go away here on Agenda. You will all soon be traveling because of elections, because of All Saints Day, All Souls Day, etc. And I am sure that many of you, like me and my wife, take tour buses, air-conditioned buses when you travel. We do when we go up north, and it always becomes very rewarding, but sometimes challenging, particularly in trying to get bookings online. There are many bus companies that are still transitioning to digitalization, etc. So let's find out from one of the country's most established, respected bus companies what they're planning to do. And for this, we've invited the spokesperson, head of the legal department of Jack Liner, Attorney Jose Miguel or J.M. Corpuz. Attorney, good morning to you.
Good morning, Sir Cito, and thank you for having us in your show.
Wala nga, tumatanda ako pag nakakatapat ako ng mga batang katulad mo. Anyway, attorney, let's go straight to the point. I'm curious, how has Jackliner evolved? Because, you know, you've had a number of struggles in the past, and then a lot of business streamlining problems with what do you call this, terminals and policies of government. How is the business now, and how is the company?
All right, so when we talk about how Jack evolved, it evolved a lot through the years when it started initially back in 1987. So before it started with a few units, the owners themselves were the ones operating those the whole operations, even utilizing their own personal garage as the maintenance facility just so they can run the business. Now, it's close to 300 units plying the routes of Laguna to Lucena. And yeah, and all throughout those years, we continuously advocate to providing utmost care and safety to our passengers, which we fly under the banner of Alagang Jack.
Alagang Jack.
Yes, sir.
Now, okay, so could you elaborate more on Alagang Jack? Because you heard my intro, there are some bus companies where customers pray to the high heavens, please bigyan mo sila ng digital connectivity. What about Jackliner? What have you done in terms of digitalization, in terms of online booking, online payments, etc.?
All right. So in terms of digitalization, Jackliner is still processing it, or it's still migrating fully to a automated system. But in our booking system, online booking, we have this partner, viajeros.com, which easily helps our passengers to book their advance tickets online. Just visit their website and pay out the ticket at the checkout, and then they have already an advance ticket whenever they want to book. And also in our digitalization is when we partnered up with PLDT Wi-Fi back in February 2011 to be the first ever Wi-Fi bus in the country.
Wi-Fi bus, as in the bus is itself, while it's mobile, has Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir, Cito. Basically, back in 2010, there was a need to address the issue of how to get our customers connected while in transit. So to address this, we partnered up with the Smart PLDT Wi-Fi and installed Wi-Fi to our bus units to make our customers connected to the internet.
Well, that levels it out. I mean, that raises the bar, because for me, it's like kung merong outlet or USB just to charge my phone or my iPad, I'm already happy. Some of the older planes of the airlines don't even have a USB port, much less a Wi-Fi. So your buses, while running, actually have a Wi-Fi, pero may USB port ba?
Yes, sir. We're currently modifying our units to be more comfortable to our customers and passengers. So there's Wi-Fi. We're still negotiating with the PLDT to put Wi-Fi to all our fleet. But now we have several units with Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm sure that that's going to attract the younger generation of bus travelers, because I mean, the mentality of the younger generation is just totally different. It's like when we talk about traveling, where are we going? Okay, where are we staying? Oh, do they have Wi-Fi? Is there a signal there, etc.? Do they have live streaming? So their priority is really on digitalization and connectivity. So what other technologies are you implementing, or what other developments are you introducing?
Besides the Wi-Fi, we have a lot of things in store. But I think I was advised that we will announce this at some other time. Seriously.
Secret, huh? Okay. What about the PLDT Enterprise? Because I know you've been partnering with PLDT for some time now. Okay, yung hindi secret, ano pa yung mga ginagawa ninyo? So bookings, you're streamlining that. There are Wi-Fi's on the buses. What else is available, and what's in store for the future?
Okay, so well, besides the Wi-Fi, we have the traditional TVs on our bus units. We have the Viejiros, where you can purchase tickets online. We have some bus units with toilets. Those are our point-to-point buses. And we have a lot of other things in store, but like I said, we'll divulge them at some other time.
Okay, now wait a minute. Let's talk about routes, because we just had a foreign guest in the house, and they're residing in the Philippines, and they're not too familiar with bus routes in the country, and so are many Filipinos. So now for Jackliner, what are your principal routes? Or, we still have time anyway. Can you share the routes of Jackliner?
All right. So primarily, Jack is a southern province route. So it transports passengers and things from here in Metro Manila to parts of Laguna and Quezon, specifically Lucena. In Laguna, it goes to Biñan, Calamba, San Pablo, and then in Quezon up to Tiaong, Sariaya, up to Lucena.
Okay, now all of that begins from where? Where is the starting point or main bus terminal, or do you have multiple bus terminals in Metro Manila? I haven't managed to catch up with Jack for quite a while because of COVID.
Okay, so we have several terminals. Here in Metro Manila, we have one of the biggest ones is in our Camyas terminal along EDSA. Then we have one at Buendia, which we called our LRT terminal. And on those two terminals primarily go to the destinations that I just mentioned.
Okay, so the MRT one, that's the Buendia, Taft area?
Yes, the LRT Buendia station.
Yeah, the station, okay. And the one in Camyas, it's actually more along EDSA than on Camyas.
Yes, it's a corner lot, so it's along EDSA, yes.
Okay, bakit ako nakakakita ng dagupan dyan? Mali yatang photo yan, ah. Hello! Yung technical ko, naduling na. Nagpaparamdam. Gusto pumunta ng dagupan. Anyway, so it's Makati, it's Quezon City. Now, are these 24-hour runs? Because we always hear about no seats available during undas. But on the regular days, are these terminals operating 24 hours? And are your buses 24/7?
All right, so we operate primarily on a need to operate basis, meaning if there are numerous passengers that want to travel and go to their destination, we will definitely provide our services. Now, if we see that there is no passengers anymore, then we will stop our operations and continue at the earliest time that we need to.
Okay, so anything else you would like our viewers to know about Jackliner? Ito, basic ito, attorney, no? But people always ask me that question. Eh. What does JAC stand for? JAC.
All All right. Jack actually stands for the initials of the owner's names. So the owner's names, I'm not sure if I'm at liberty, but it's Jaime and Adelaida Chua.
Yeah, I know the name. It's public knowledge, so I don't think you'll get into trouble for saying that because I mean, hello, he built up the bus company. It's standing strong, and it is a testimony to his resilience. So I think he should take pride in that, and don't want to put you. But okay, what improvements? Here's a question. What? Okay. Anyway. Anything else you'd like to discuss with our viewers, or at least announce? Because you guys are gonna be up to your neck with passengers next week.
Yes, and so, sir, to the viewers, all those who are planning to travel to vote or to visit their loved ones during this UNDA season, and you're planning to ride the bus, please do try our units, our bus services. I'm sure that we will provide our Alagang Jack to you. And before doing so, I strongly encourage everyone to purchase their tickets in advance because everyone will be traveling and it will be fully booked. So thank you very much.
I forgot to ask you a question earlier because you were mentioning about the Wi-Fi on board, your partnership with PLDT. What exactly is that? Is that the PLDT enterprise? I was about to ask you that question earlier. How has your partnership with PLDT enterprise improved your business, and your connections or customer relations?
All right. So PLDT enterprise really helped establish our loyal customer base because it helped connect us with our passengers. So because of the need of the internet and where PLDT helped us in that aspect. So our passengers frequent our services because of this internet service that we provide and establish our loyal customer base. So yeah, it greatly helped us.
So it's really more, addressing the needs or the demands of the bus rider more than anything. Because when people hear NPLDT enterprise, parang hello, ano yan, Star Trek or something, di ba? Pero apparently it's really providing the technology that meets the needs and demands of the passenger and results in increased passenger or increased ridership for Jackliner.
Yes, sir, Cito.
Okay. Last question. Kayo ba ang mag-check ng security? What will be the security procedure? Because baka mamaya ang daming bawal daw. Ito, may nagtatanong. Baka ang dami na namang bawal mag-iiwan sila ng mga maleta sa bus terminal.
Yes, so because of the volume of passengers, there is really a higher security risk, which we already addressed prior to this UNDA season. We always brief all our security services and our terminals that this is already a regular routine for us. We have gone through several seasons of holidays and we know what to expect and we have our measures to address them.
Okay, so hindi na kailangang i-memorize, bawal ang kutsilyo, bawal ang flammable liquids, bawal ang weapons, deadly weapons, and bawal ang live animals. Paano yung mga doggies? Bawal din?
We do not really say bawal, Sir Cito, no? But we have a special time frame for those passengers who want to bring their animals on board.
Ayun. Okay. One of these days, I will call you. Para yung aking manok maisakay ko sa aircon na bus. Okay. Thank you very much, Attorney. Just keeping it light. But congratulations to Jackliner, Mr. Chua, for his accomplishment. And of course, we do hope that your customers stay connected So makapanood naman sila ng agenda when they travel next week. God bless you, Attorney. Congratulations.
God bless, Sir Cito, and thank you very much for having us.
Okay, and that's Attorney Jose Miguel Corpuz. He is the Chief Legal Counsel and Corporate Communications Head of Jack Liner. So let's now go to our final blessing for this week. And Gab, if you would, it comes from 1 Chronicles chapter 28, verse 20. David also said to Solomon his son, "Be strong and courageous, and do the work. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord God, my God, is with you. He will not fail you." Thank you for joining us. May you have a blessed weekend. May you have a restful weekend. Please include Team Agenda in your prayers. God bless you, and please keep it here on One News.